Joining us tonight from Brussels is former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who just finished a trip to Ukraine earlier today. Mr. Secretary, thanks for the time.
Brett, it's great to be with you.
Well, we have a lot to talk about overseas, but the biggest story here, as you well know, even as you're overseas, is the indictment of former President Trump in court today. In New York, the 45th president of the United States, your former boss, sitting in the courtroom pleading not guilty to 34 counts. Your thoughts on this day and what it means big picture?
Well, Brett, you're right. I'm not in the United States today, but everyone here is talking about it, just like a lot of folks in the United States talking about it, too, trying to figure out how the heck a prosecutor from Manhattan in New York could prosecute for a series of statements that were made back in 2016, 2017. And when he goes out and says, well, I'm not going to normalize serious crime, it strikes all of them as tin-eared. They know that that's not the reality of why this prosecution was chosen. I have had a chance to read now through briefly the 34 counts. He made them felonies. I think this suggests what we all feared, is this is a political prosecution, and the prosecutor should not have made such a judgment to bring these charges against the former president of the United States. I think it will divide America in ways that aren't good for our republic.
I want to play this quick soundbite from Alvin Bragg. Just earlier today wrapped up that press conference. Take a listen.
34 false statements made to cover up other crimes. These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct.
What do you think this means for former President Trump, for his campaign for president? What do you think it means for the country?
Well, I don't know what the politics of this will end up being, Brett. I just know that when our founders created this place, it wasn't in the cards that we would prosecute people based on a job that they'd had or something that their political office they're seeking. Rather, we just go back to the basics, right? The facts and the law. And we all know what's going on in New York City. I spend a fair amount of time there. This is a place where there's lots of crimes, and a district attorney who has chosen not to prosecute those, certainly at the felony level. So his statement most certainly sounds false to me. It looks like this is political, and that's not good for our politics or for ordinary families all across the country.